It's training camp season, and today we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we're looking at Baker Mayfield, seeing what he's doing behind the scenes, watch him work through some drills, run the team, throw the ball around, and everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're talking about these players every day at training camp, what they're doing behind the scenes, what they're doing at practice, your rookies, guys on your favorite team, guys that you're going to be drafting soon in fantasy football, guys coming back from injury, all the storylines, it's going to be right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Baker Mayfield today, and he has been hot. He has been looking good. He's been firing rockets. And Jalen McMillan's been going off. That is the huge story here in the passing game, really. That is the huge story. And you also got Trey Palmer. On top of that, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, like we all know. But this passing offense, if everything stays put, looking healthy throughout the season, Baker Mayfield, no hiccups. McMillan keeps doing what he's doing at camp. It's just going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. You better watch the Bucs. You better watch the Bucs. Rachaad White using the passing game a ton. This is a team that's going to push it downfield. This is a team that gets vertical. And Baker Mayfield historically likes to get vertical. Look at that ball to Evans. Look at that. Little skip and a gallop. But even his time at Carolina, a large A-dot and pushing it downfield with a large percentage of his passes still going to the running back. And we saw that here with Tampa instantly. He's aggressive with the football downfield. And sometimes you just have to have the right players around you too. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They're adding more fuel to the fire. He's got the leadership abilities, the confidence, and he had to mature into it, and he did. He did, and he's looking good. He's looking good. I think this is an underrated offense. I think this is going to be a fun offense to watch on Sundays. Even if you're not a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and you just stumbled upon this just to watch the clips, I think on Sundays they're going to be in some matchups where they're just going to be fun to watch on Sundays. Where you're sick of red zone, you just want to watch a game, you want to watch the fun game of the slate. Maybe not even the top game, but the fun game. They're going to be in a lot of them. They're going to be in a lot of them. They're going to be in the fun games. They're going to be pushing it. And that's what you want in football anyways. That's what you want your favorite team to be in. If I'm a Bucs fan, that's a good thing. If someone said that about my team, they're going to be in a lot of the fun games on the slate because they're looking good on offense. They're being explosive. Like, that's about as good as saying, hey, they're potentially going to win the Super Bowl because I know I'm going to get a lot of good Sundays. That's what I'm seeing out of this team. This team's going to push the rock. They're going to have a lot of good storylines going into the year. Baker Mayfield's looking good slant. Look at that one. Right in front of his wide receiver. Right in front of his guy right there. Right there. Another good placement, too. McMillan. If he hits, and he might be hitting, I've been talking about him a good bit. I have a Jalen McMillan video that came out a few days ago. Maybe a week ago. A few days, week, whatever. Also, another Baker Mayfield video. You guys gave me a lot of love on that. But McMillan flew under the radar during the draft a little bit because we have so many good wide receivers. This is a very good wide receiver class. The Bucs snagged him in the draft. The thing about his skill set is a very nuanced route runner. We saw that at Washington. Can also get downfield, get vertical. You can do a lot with him. You can move him around. He's got some similarities to Chris Godwin, but also very different in the way they play. But both very nuanced players, sticky hands, can win at all phases. And there were talks that they were going to move Godwin more in the slot. And prior to last year, he was in the slot around 70 to 75% of his snaps. Looking at that per PFF. He was very productive those years as well. And you got a guy like McMillan if he comes into his own. Then you got Trey Palmer. I like Trey Palmer coming out of LSU. Coming out of high school. 4-star recruit. And then we went to Nebraska, right? We had a 34% market share. That's the ownership of the passing offense of Nebraska just stepping in right away. Making big plays happen. We run a 4.3 coming at the combine. Our stock goes up a little bit, but we still fall in the draft. That's another huge get to Tampa. This offense is deep. Let's talk about Bucky Irvin. Bucs fans. Bucky Irvin. He did not look so great at the combine The steam just got away. But go watch the tape. Go watch the tape. This guy's very functional between the tackles with great vision, patience, good in the second level. And then you can also split him out in the slot, put him outside as a wide receiver. You can wheel him out. Very functional running back prospect. What's Sean Tucker doing these days? Can he get right? Can he get back to where he was at Syracuse? Can that happen? Not everybody's going to get right and get back, but man, they keep adding fuel to the fire. Everybody's got some fire in them here in the Buccaneers offense. Baker Mayfield's leading it. He's leading the charge and leader of these high-end prospects here. I think Baker Mayfield's got a ton of upside here going into 2024. We just got to stay healthy. The offense got to stay cooking, looking good. You got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Evans stretching the field. Looking like another season of him just bringing in deep balls. He's also got the perfect quarterback for him here with Baker. Like a quarterback who's got a lot of moxie and confidence that likes to sling it downfield. That's what Mike Evans needed. He needed that. There's very few quarterbacks. You'd think a lot of quarterbacks would, but there's very few quarterbacks at the NFL level that really wants to spray and pray it downfield and have the confidence to fit it downfield and let their guys work. You got that with Baker. Rachaad White, solid. He's underrated. He's underrated in fantasy too right now. Rachaad White, seeing him right there. He's good in the passing game, good catching balls out of the backfield, especially if you're in a PPR league. Like, a lot of people will talk about his efficiency running the ball, but he also got about 16 carries a game on top of the receptions and targets. His usage in the passing game is what makes him different. And that could allow him to tap into his upside. And he had a ton of RB1 weeks last year. I think like 6, 7, 8 of them. Half the season, he was really cooking. And then when he wasn't cooking, he was still giving you very good production. He's a guy that should be 2, 3 rounds higher in fantasy. He might end up that way if people listen to me enough. Jalen McMillan, that is the outlier here. If anything, he's going to be a great addition for the Bucs, but he could be a guy that you're looking at fantasy as well. Could be. Just one of those dark horses. Like, he is gelling well in camp. Like, a lot of these highlights from the Bucs media team, McMillan's in a lot of them. They're making sure he's getting shot. And the reason why is because they're shooting vid every day. Every day. And they're noticing him, and they're making sure he's getting the opportunity to get showcased. That's what these media teams do. I've seen this a lot. And that doesn't mean it's always right. I'm talking about the Chargers here with Quentin Johnston. But also you got to analyze how they're winning on the field. Like, let's look at McMillan versus Quentin Johnston and his highlight reel tape from last year and even this year. McMillan's winning against coverage. He's creating separation. He's winning after the catch. He's also getting some time in drills and stuff. But a lot of his stuff, 1v1s, 11-on-11, 7-on-7s with guys against him. A lot of it, when you're watching it on tape, you're seeing the sticky hands, you're seeing the nuance, the good in his play, the stuff you want to see. A lot of the tape from Quentin Johnston from the Chargers, a lot of it was against air. A lot of it was some bad technique with the ball leaking into his body. A lot of that stuff when trying to catch the ball downfield. He did have some one-on-ones in 11 versus 11 plays. A lot of it was back in the end zone, some lob balls. But again, you're seeing different types of plays where he has to show you different techniques too in the clips. So there is a method to the madness of training camp highlights that a lot of people kind of frown upon because, if you just casually view them and don't analyze training camp highlights like I do, is probably the only person in the world that does, you wouldn't catch that stuff. That's why I'm saying, hey, watch out for Jalen McMillan. If you notice, during this spiel, you saw him win over the middle. You saw him win on like a curl-ish route, maybe a hitch or something. You saw him win on that. Contested 1v1s. There he is over the middle. Again, he was by himself, but still the coverage is getting on the field, and you're with the first team. You're getting work. There he is again, over around the side, around the boundary. You see that winning in different ways. That's why I'm excited about Jalen McMillan. And then Baker Mayfield has got the cojones to look his way, even with Godwin, Mike Evans. So pay attention to this offense. Baker, Mayfield's cooking. This team looks like it's going to be a surprise offense. If anything, it's going to be very fun to watch. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.